forgot that gravity existed. Then he got a little bit sane, and maybe he's a little hallucinating now. That doesn't matter in a sense. I mean, to investors who see numbers go up and numbers go down, the net investment in the industry just continues to grow. And it's more global today than it's been. If you go to China, the number of startups there is at a record high. You go to India, it's at a record high. And so the failure rate has always been, somewhere in the 70-80% level. But some gems, like redefining how people think about video or photos, come out, get critical mass, and then they fit into this incredible phenomenon. So in terms of this being the place where you can play games in a better way, where you can edit videos, find them, organize them, the empowerment, the fun, the community, and this huge commercial thing of matching buyers and sellers that's kind of a new revenue stream, it's just going to keep growing. Meanwhile, people will overvalue pieces of it and undervalue pieces of it, and that's the casino side, which has its own thrills.
So let's see, Chad, was it what 1.6 billion, wasn't it, something like that?
1.65.
1.65. Sorry. 1.65 billion. Now, Sergey and Larry are really bright, but they're fairly young. Eric Schmidt is a fairly doer, serious, solid person. Did he pay too much? Why are you worth $1.6 billion?
Well, we've...
6.5, sorry.
Yeah, 6.5. We've been able to build a platform that's built a large audience.
Will you endure? I mean, are you going to vanish? And there's lots of old platforms that are now gone, that were going to be the future. Why will your platform, or Katerina, and I'll ask you the same question, why is yours going to endure? Why aren't you going to go the way of some of the other photo sharing, like OPhoto and some of the others that have gone? First, Chad, then you.
Well, I think with our site, we built a lot of natural network effects. What's really driving people to put a piece of content online is to get a reaction, to receive views. Since we have the largest audiences, people are deciding to put their videos on our site.
Are we in a world of exhibitionists?
Well, everyone wants to share. Everyone wants to share their experiences. So yeah, it's just not funny videos. It's people experiencing the world and having a chance to share that with others. So. Since we've built the largest library of content, video content on the web, that in turn brings more traffic, builds a larger audience for us.
Just a quick interjection on the value of YouTube and what was paid. Barry Diller, the chairman of IAC Interactive and the Hollywood legend, had a very good take on that shortly after the deal happened. And he said Google didn't pay $1.65 billion. They paid a tiny slice of their market capitalization to buy that company, and then within 3 days the market cap of Google had gone up $4 billion. Google got YouTube basically free.
Well, one of the things that we have with it sounds very utopian. All of these people have a voice. Everybody's uploading video and photographs and all this kind of stuff. But really, I think the thing that's very significant about these services, about YouTube, about Flickr, is that they're organizing all of this information for you in much the same way that search did that. Search changed the internet because you could find what you wanted. And that's very significant about the services that we've built here, because you have a social network on Flickr, and you will only see the photos of, if you want, the people who you are most interested in, and filter out all of the, we're getting nearly 2 million photos uploaded a day. You don't want to look at all of those photos, but you do want to see the photos that are meaningful to you, that are from the people that you care about, or that, for example, are associated with world events that are happening. We're having photos that are uploaded from world events such as the tsunami, the Hurricane Katrina. All of these things are uploaded constantly from all over the world. But it's this ability for all of the social interactions on the sites to discover the best content, to make all of the best content rise to the top. You can look at the behavior of the people. Do they look at this photo more than that photo? And all of that is a organizing mechanism that I think is extremely significant and absolutely essential to what we're doing now versus what was happening in the first generation of the web.
So, Mark, are you seeing your customers surprising you in any new ways?
Oh, absolutely. We certainly don't have this figured out, nor does anybody in my mind. It's an exploration for us. But one of the things that we're learning is how to create more of a two-way dialogue. It used to be that companies or brands or organizations were feeding a one-way or just, putting a one-way message out there, but not really getting much back. Now there's an interaction, and that's really changed. It's creating a whole new dynamic in how we and other businesses and organizations operate. I mean, we are getting actionable insights that really drive new products and new experiences. And for us, that's really exciting. Somebody said in one of the sessions that there's a lot of creative, passionate, knowledgeable people out there. They don't all work for us. So actually, our ability to tap into that collective intelligence is incredibly powerful and exciting.
Well, now you used a very powerful phrase there, collective intelligence. So is part of what we're seeing here, in fact, an expression of what amounts to collection of intelligence? We had the interesting book published about a year ago, The Wisdom of Crowds. Are we seeing, in fact, an expression of the ways in which people can express their judgments, use YouTube, Flickr, all the other social networking sites to express their judgments of what's worth paying attention to, what are the interesting things. We see reviews on Amazon. We see the kinds of judgment expressed even in eBay, who's a trusted customer, who's a trusted seller, all of those kinds of things. Is that what's important here, people expressing their judgment of that sort? Bill?
But you could say this is taking all the power of a marketplace, and in a digital form, we're taking marketplaces that existed and making them more efficient. And we're taking marketplaces that never would have been possible in the physical world and bringing them to life. Take a blog site like Engadget. It never had a big enough audience to be a newsstand printed thing. The cost structure, the sparsity of the people who would read that, they would have failed. But online, they have a very low cost structure. They've got an audience of a few 100,000, not paying much at all, but it all works. And so yes, every time somebody says they like one of Chad's videos or they tag one of Katrina's photos, they are expressing a judgment. And we still have some work to do in terms of reputation to filter out people who try and play with these things. But even without that, these systems work surprisingly well. Even search, a huge part of the input there is you see when somebody gets a result, if they click on it, do they spend much time there? Do they scroll the page? So actually that dynamic behavior is feeding back and making the search engine better. And the way you present information, you're constantly taking your customers' input and changing what it is that you offer.
Well, you also went after, you mentioned something important, advertising. So the other night I was sitting with Bob Wright, the CEO of NBC, who depends upon lots of people out there watching the same program at the same time while Sony or Ford or Coke is selling them ads. On YouTube, it's not like that. So what's the advertising model?
Well, what we're doing on our site, we feel we're creating a new market opportunity for the networks, because we're creating a different experience. It's not replicating the television experience. It's not a 10-foot experience. It's a 2-foot experience, and we're just concentrating on delivering clips, short clips that actually promote long-form programming that you see on the TV. But we're building tools so networks will be able to leverage the power of our system and just create a new revenue source through advertising. I mean, working with Google, we're going to be able to present really relevant advertising targeted towards individual that wasn't necessarily or isn't available in traditional means.
Commissioner Reddy, so this is a bunch of American entrepreneurs and business people here. You talked about getting out of the way, making sure you don't create barriers, but is there anything interesting happening in Europe? I mean, are people just as creative? I mean, where is the European YouTube or Flickr?
Well, we started in Canada.
You started in Canada?
Yes.
Sorry.